All right, everybody, we are ready for our next run. It is Gran Turismo 7 by Realm, who makes his triumphant return to the SS4C stage. Realm, you can take it away. Good luck.
Alright, what is up everyone, and welcome to some hot Gran Turismo 7 action. If you thought this run was going to be plain sailing and that I was going to be driving out of my mind, playing incredibly well, the developers of this game, Polyphony Digital, had a nice surprise for you all, which is that they dropped an update which completely changed the way the game plays 2 days ago. So I don't know how to play this game anymore. I'm going to try my best and we'll see how we go. I've also got famous Scottish comedian Limmy on co-coms with me. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah. What's feathers, steel, kilogram? Yeah. I've never played this game. I know about racing games, so it's okay.
It is, of course, Limga_SSB, not associated with Brian Limond, famous Scottish comedian.
Brian?
I think so. I could be wrong about that. Can we fact check that one in chat? Anyway, I'm moving forward, and we're gonna start the run soon. In fact, we're gonna start it in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so 10 tracks in this run. Basically, the way it works, I'll try and describe it if I can. The way the run works is that, so Gran Turismo, for those of you who don't know, has a cool thing in it called the License Center, and in each license stage, you have to pass a certain number of tests in order to be able to progress to the next part of the campaign. And S is the final level of stages, and basically what it is it's 10 time trials of some of the more difficult tracks in the game, and you have to beat them within a certain time frame in order to earn those licenses. And they've had this feature throughout pretty much the entire Gran Turismo series. It's always been a feature. To progress through the campaign, you need to earn your licenses, and they're notorious for being some of the hardest sort of time trial based tests that exist in any racing game of all time, effectively. And the reason they're so notoriously difficult is because, especially for the gold requirements, the timing is basically incredibly tight, and on a lot of the tests you can't afford to make any mistakes whatsoever. You know, if you go a little bit wide at a corner, or you brake a little bit too early or a little bit too late, you're probably not getting the gold. For example, there I just narrowly snuck in, and that wasn't actually particularly good. High Speed Ring, the first track, is by far the easiest one to achieve the gold requirement on, closely followed by the second one, Monza. So I think probably the best thing for me to do in this moment, before I actually start talking about how the run works, is explain why I had a breakdown on stream at about 3 p.m. today, which was 6 hours ago, just in case you guys are curious. I had a breakdown on stream earlier today when I realized how different the handling model in this game is compared to 3 days ago, before Polyphony Digital shipped this update to the game. Which, yeah, basically I was doing High Speed Ring, the track I just completed, and I kept going around the first corner, and I kept crashing into the wall. And if you crash into the wall or go onto the grass, you get instantly disqualified from a license test. That's one of the reasons why they're so difficult. You can't corner cut your way through it, and if you go off the track like I just did there, you get instantly disqualified and have to start the whole thing again. The braking zones for some of these corners have changed. For example, that one has changed quite significantly, and now you have to brake a lot earlier than you do before. And the reason for that is because basically they've changed the suspension physics and they've changed the tire physics of the car significantly, especially hard compound tires, I believe it is. I don't know if this is true, but this is something someone was saying in the Gran Turismo Discord earlier today. The hard compound tires, which if you look down at the bottom left of my HUD, you can see that there is a sort of outline of the car, and at the top and bottom of that outline it says SH, which stands for Sport Hard Tires. Yeah, the hard compound tires basically have nowhere near as much grip in them anymore, so I've just failed that one again. I need to be careful, because if I fail it too many times I'm going to go over estimates, so I'll pay a bit more attention. The update is interesting because basically it changes the way that the handling model of the cars work a lot. You can't carry anywhere near as much speed through corners as you used to be able to, because the cars are incredibly understeery through basically the whole corner, effectively. If you don't know what understeer is, that's basically where you turn your car, you try to turn the steering wheel in a regular car, and the car isn't as responsive as you're expecting it to be, and your car kind of drifts out wide on the corner. Please tell me I'm making this one. I really don't want to do this again. Okay, we're good. All right, that's the hard part of this track over now. We've made it through. And by comparison, there's also oversteer, which is basically the opposite of what I described. It's when you turn the car, you turn the steering wheel, and it turns more than you're expecting it to turn, and it causes you to sort of, I describe oversteer usually as a kind of snap where your car kind of jinks to the right or left depending on which direction you're turning, and you have to try and catch it by counter steering in the opposite direction to prevent your car from going into a slide or a spin. It's pretty stressful when that kind of thing happens. So going in through most of the corners, especially corners which are considered high speed or medium speed, so any corner that you don't have to do really heavy braking for example the corner we're about to come up to, the famous Parabolica at Monza, the Parabolica is what I would consider to be a medium speed corner. You don't have to brake super heavy into it, and you can carry quite a lot of speed through it, so it understeers the whole way through. But then if you put the power down too early, you're gonna oversteer. So now the way that they've shipped this update effectively is that you spend the entire speed run Monzaco. You spend the entire speed run either understeering or oversteering. Whenever you go through the corners, you're going to be doing one or the other. It's not going to feel like you're having a natural steer through the corner, which I don't know if that's by design or whether that's just me playing it poorly, but I've heard other people reporting this as well. I was talking to other Gran Turismo speedrunners during my stream earlier today, and they were corroborating the same things. It's just it's going to take a lot more getting used to. If you want better rotation through each corner, you now need to take it in a much lower gear, although the more observant of you will be able to see that I am actually using automatic transmission for this because I'm not brave enough to use manual transmission in this case.
This might all sound just small, oh no, there was a patch and it broke the way I play the game. Usually with the way that people play sim racers, there's a lot of muscle memory that's involved with how you take certain corners, because everything's so tight and specific.
The reason
these types of racing games compared to Mario Kart, for example, so it means a lot. Just these kind of small changes from an outsider's point of view.
The reason I even have Limmy here helping me commentate today is because I didn't feel confident enough in my ability to play the game and rely on my muscle memory because of how radical the changes are. I was talking about it before. The first track, High Speed Ring, it genuinely took me... I said it was an hour. It wasn't quite an hour. It was probably 20 minutes or so of just taking the first corner over and over again, and failing over and over again until I eventually understood how much speed I was able to get away with carrying through the corners.
Is Lemmy really helping?
Go on.
I mean,
moral support. I
commentated the song. Okay.
All right, fine. I'll give it to you for now.
But yeah, I definitely agree with what Dogmaster is saying in chat. I am a notorious leaner when it comes to playing games. I've spun the car. So that's the oversteer I was talking to you about. I got on the power too early and the game punished me for it. I'm a notorious leaner when I play racing games, and anyone who's ever watched me on my stream will be able to attest to the fact that I lean a lot. More when I play Monkey Ball than anything else. I don't know why, I lean so much when I play Monkey Ball, it's unbelievable. But yeah, I was talking to Helix about this on my stream earlier, and I said to them, this change to the physics, in my opinion, is just as sort of radical as the change in physics between the original Monkey Ball games and Monkey Ball Banana Mania. That's how it feels to me. It feels like I'm playing a very vastly different game almost, which is... It wasn't great when I discovered that 6 hours ago, and I knew I was doing this evening. So yeah, I'm trying my damnedest, but this track I'm having quite a rough time of the spins and the oversteer. But hopefully,
yeah, for a quick like TLDR with like the difference between the originals and Banana Mania. In the originals, all the like movement like through the stick was done with a square dead zone, even though it's a circular stick. So whenever you'd be in the corner of like the dead zone, your inputs would be more powerful. Like you gain speed more easily. But in like a lot of the newer multi-ball games, like Remix, your cardinals are a lot stronger. Even though it still calculates in a square dead zone, your cardinals are strong. Going to be like way stronger than your diagonals.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of players who can't even make that like adjustment very easily.
It was true what Nim said in my chat earlier about having a nightmare about you're up for your GDQ run or whatever, and then you show up and it's a different game to the one you now have to speedrun. I think I've had that same dream before actually. A weirdly relatable experience, but yeah, now I'm living that nightmare right now. At least it's not GDQ. It's just something that's way more important and dear to my heart. So yeah, that's it's a nice feeling. So we've had the first 4 tracks. Tokyo obviously was quite difficult. I had a couple of spins there due to the oversteer, but generally it went okay. We still got the bronze medal requirements, so everything's all fine at the moment. That track is a nightmare with this new update because it's surrounded by walls, and as I mentioned earlier, you hit a wall, it's game over. You have to start all the way from the beginning. This is the most unique track in the whole run because it's the only dirt track of the 10 that we have to complete. And dirt tracks feel very different now. The cars feel a lot more skittish than they used to feel. They do not feel like they're hooked up for even a moment. If you make a minor adjustment, that car is moving quite dramatically. There are no minor adjustments in a rally car. You have to be sure that that's the movement you want to make. Otherwise, you are risking sending yourself into a big spin. It just feels like all the car wants to do now is spin in the rally cars, especially when you go over the bumps and you land. If you're not landing in a straight line, you probably are going to go into a spin. So even hitting the silver requirements on these tracks is quite tough for me now, for the time being. Until I properly learn this physics model, it's going to be quite difficult for me to hit these requirements. But so far, we've only made it through with 2 short failures. We've probably lost about a minute and a half over my PB so far, if I had to guess, which isn't too bad. My PB is 5.5 minutes faster than estimate. But I tried to give a marathon safe estimate on account of the fact that it is very easy to lose a lot of time in this run. If you make an error right towards the end of a track, you can lose a minute or 2, which is not good for your time. So yeah, I tried to give a pretty marathon safe estimate. Last time I did this run in a marathon, I actually had a 30-minute estimate, but I came quite drastically under that, so I dropped it to 25 for this one, only for them to drop an update on me, which makes me way more likely to fail than I was before. So yeah, thank you, Polyphonic Digital.
Thank you, Polyphonic Digital.
Caring about their fan base, as always, as they usually do. That's why they've been giving us car collector games for the last 15 years instead of racing games. Anyway,
I know that you used to, in one of the SSRCs before, you did a run of Gran Turismo 3. Would you like to explain how that game and this game are exactly the same with no differences at all?
Yeah, so when they made Gran Turismo 3, it was a racing game, and there were a lot of people at Polyphonic Digital who were incredibly passionate about racing and making a racing experience that was fun and enjoyable for their fan base. And that passion and enjoyment of racing continued throughout the production of Gran Turismo 4, which is also on PlayStation 2. And then they released a wonderful game called Gran Turismo 5, where all of that passion for racing went out the window, and they said, what if we turn this game into Animal Crossing but with cars instead? Yes, effectively, Animal Crossing for straight men, and us straight men ate it up. we were all like, yes, please give me 300 cars that I have to collect all of them, and I have about 10 different races I can do, and that's it. And the entire emphasis is now put on collecting the cars rather than actually doing the racing. And unfortunately, the higher ups at Polyphonic Digital saw Gran Turismo 5 and went, that's what we need. So that's what Gran Turismo has been ever since, and it's still kind of struggling to break out of that legacy. You know, this game has over 400 cars you can collect. You get rewarded quite heavily with in-game currency for completing certain collections of cars, and I don't know. I really wish the emphasis was just more on the racing, and it's a fun game. It was definitely a lot more fun before this update, although maybe that's just because I'm still getting used to it. But let me tell you, right, I've been doing this run for what, how far through are we, like 12 to 15 minutes, somewhere around that mark?
14-ish.
Yeah, 14 minutes, that's about right. My shoulders are killing me because of how tense I am through every single one of these corners. I literally, like, I know that if I do anything differently to, like, you know, if I'm not laser focused around all of these corners, I am going to be so like in the mud, especially on a track like this where we're driving a super formula car around a very tight, twisty circuit. You know, you have to be really on your guard on a track like this. I cannot rely on my muscle memory anymore. I have to be completely on my guard, otherwise stuff like that happens.
Yeah, watching you play this game is like so different, because I know we've been talking about all the changes so far, but like you're usually like super relaxed playing this. Like you just like use muscle memory, get through like all the different challenges and everything. I guess it's never been like a problem. This like the first time.
Yeah, no, I'm actually
this game.
I'm actually so like, I don't know, like dialed in right now, and I'm still making a ton of mistakes. And I'm never dialed in when I play this game. It's literally like, it's like putting on a movie when I play this game, except my hands are just doing something. I don't really know what they're doing. I just play. And now I'm just like, yeah, if I'm not super committed to everything, then it's not going to go well. And you know, you might think, oh, well, then they've made it successful. You're now playing a game. But you know, some people don't like doing that when they play games. They don't like playing games when they play games. You know what I mean? I'm sure people relate. There's people out there who play Cookie Clicker. I'm people.
Yeah, there's people out there that play old school RuneScape.
Saved it. We didn't go off the track. It's fine. We had a bit of a spin, but I saved it.
Even just watching this like casually, it's like just like driving it just looks so erratic. Like, yeah, it looks like
it
you're
feels
like
horrible.
on the brink of death every turn.
Good lord. Okay.
I have an important question.
Yeah.
Why didn't you submit F1 2022 instead?
Because okay, let me do an impression of. Okay, we're just gonna keep going. I finished the track even if I didn't get a medal on it, so we're just gonna keep going because otherwise we'll be here forever. But yeah, what was I saying? Let me do an impression of what it would be like if I was doing an F1 22 speedrun.
No good. That's the content.
That's my go. That's my go right there.
This is my impression of the loading screens in Formula 1 22. In case you're wondering, I'll be with you in 40 seconds. No, okay, that would be horrible for the stream experience if I was actually silent for 40 seconds. But yeah,
I was gonna let you do it. I was like,
that's why I didn't submit that game, because the speedruns are not very entertaining. It's like 40 seconds of loading. You do 3 laps around a circuit where I'm gonna be honest, despite the fact that Formula 1 cars are, you know, at times 100 kilometers an hour faster than the cars in this game, the Formula 1 game feels weirdly slow to me now. I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't feel like a fast-paced game, and I don't think it would be particularly entertaining. Whereas this game, like, you guys are looking at it and you're like, wow, this is very, like, erratic and all over the place. This track in particular, I have been really struggling with today. This used to be one of my favorite tracks in this run. It's actually gone down to being one of my least favorite now. Every corner you go around is either a medium or high speed corner. There isn't a low speed corner on this track. So you are oversteering or understeering through every single corner now. There is no place where you are comfortable on this entire track now. You know, I'm having to really be careful with the throttle. You can see my throttle and brake tracers on the left and right hand side of the track map. Acceleration is on the right and brake is on the left. And usually when I was playing before, I'd kind of just be flat with everything all the time, whereas now you can see I'm really having to think about everything I'm doing all the time. You know,
there's a lot of trigger discipline.
If I take anything too, if I put the power down full like it is when I'm kind of going straight on, if I put that down too early when I'm going through a corner, the car just goes whoop, and yeah, just spins around. It's not very nice at all, and very scary, and it's going to make the online racing in this game, which is already incredibly chaotic and terrifying, even worse. So yeah, great. Do we have any donations? Sorry, I've kind of just been talking the whole run. I haven't even talked about how the run actually works.
I do have
apart
a
from,
quick
like,
donation.
briefly at the very beginning.
We have $17 from Nala and
Wonderful.
Simba. No comment, but thank you very much for your donation. And
that is my wonderful girlfriend who donates at pretty much every charity event I do. So yeah, shout out to her. She's amazing. It's her birthday this weekend. Can we get some happy birthdays in chat for my girlfriend? Her name's
please.
Maddie, in case you guys wanted to say that, with a Y, not with an IE.
well, happy birthday, Maddie. Thank you so much for your donation. That puts us at exactly $800.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're a legend.
So,
800 already as well. We're having a wonderful time.
If one person in chat donated $200, you get to 1K right away.
Wow, that is how that works.
So I'm just saying, people should
got that
donate.
right, trainer.
Exclamation D.
Yeah, if you guys want to donate $200 right now, then I'll do the next track first try, and you'll see why that's impressive very shortly.
Yeah, this game is hard. I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
So yeah, talking more about the fundamentals of how this game works, we're kind of coming towards the end now, but basically it's a sim racer, which means what you're trying to do is you're trying to be as optimal as you possibly can. It's conducive to speedrunning, effectively. A sim racing game is as pure as you can get with speedrunning, especially in a time trial mode like this, because the focus is entirely on optimization. Gran Turismo is fantastic for that kind of thing, because Gran Turismo in other modes, especially in the races, has an incredible number of car customization options as well, which enables you to optimize the setup of your car. But when you're actually on track, the thing that you're trying to optimize is the thing called the racing line, which some people might be familiar with that concept, some people might not be. And basically what that is, if you imagine on every circuit there is going to be a line drawn on the circuit, which is the most optimal way that you can drive around the circuit. It's very convenient because on this track, everywhere that isn't the racing line is painted with water, and if I go on that water at all, my car is going to spin instantly. That's why this track is incredibly difficult, is because anything that isn't the racing line is wet track, and we're on tyres that can't cope with driving in water. So the car will spin if I go off the racing line at all. And so if I do this first try, that is going to be a monumental achievement, basically, especially with the new handling. I've only beaten this track a couple times so far since I started practicing with the new handling model. So yeah, I think I'm going to struggle quite a lot. But yeah, the idea of a racing line effectively is that you want to hit the apex of every corner, and the apex is the part of the corner where it's sort of on the inside of the corner. It's where you touch the inside of the corner, and that is the part of the corner where if you touch that part, you can carry the most speed through the corner. So you start out wide at a corner, and then when you turn in, you move in towards the inside curb of the corner. And then when you exit the corner, you want to get the power down in such a way that basically the amount of speed that you carry is equivalent to as much as you can take, that it drags you out wide to the outside line of the track again, but not so far that you go off the track. And if you nail that on every single corner, if you take everything optimally, that is the fastest way that you can possibly go through the track. And yeah, they very helpfully paint the racing line for you on this track, except it's not actually that helpful, because if you go off it for even a moment, which is very easy to do, as I've done here, you're out. I was very close. How much time have I got left before I reach estimate, just out of curiosity?
You have about 2 minutes.
Ah, we may be going over. But that's okay.
No, you spin it with the 30. What are you talking about? You spin it with the 30. Never gone over, never will.
This is true. But yeah, if I beat it this time, it will be done in about 2 minutes. So are we into the 23s yet?
Yeah, we're 23 and a half.
Yeah, but then the run's going over. Damn. So here's a fun fact about me as a speedrunner. I've been speedrunning for this year marks 10 years that I've been a speedrunner. Which you may be, if you've gone onto my Twitch channel yet and seen that I'm only 21 years old, you might be thinking, that's a rather young age to start. I wonder if he made his Twitch account when he was starting speedrunning. Yeah, definitely I made it when I turned 13.
You'd be the same.
But yeah, anyway, so I've been speedrunning almost 10 years, and not once in any marathon I've done, in over 50 marathon runs across dozens of events, I've never gone over estimate. So this is the first time. You're witnessing history right here. In a 10-year career, this is the first time I'm ever going estimate.
I don't know what you're talking about. It says 30 right on the layout, so...
Does it?
It does.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. I completely lied then. Did you bump up my estimate just to try and get you guys back on schedule, or...?
No. You spit it with the 30.
Ah, you're right.
But yeah, going back to the game for a second, like the idea of a
They didn't tell me they were doing that, by the way, guys. Sorry.
The idea of a racing line is like pretty universal with like all racing games. Like not even just this one, like even like Mario Kart or like Wipeout.
Yeah, I mean, in any racing game you do, there is going to be an optimal line, but also like Mario Kart obviously has cool things like the drift tech and stuff like that, whereas this game is just pure racing. This game is meant to be basically as close as you can get to the feeling of driving a real car without driving a real car. You know, people
going outside and touching
invest
asphalt.
A lot of money into dedicated sim racing setups for this game. You know, they get wheels, pedals, chairs that move and react to your braking. You know, this game even now has PSVR, which means that you can play it in virtual reality. You know, you can basically get the feeling of driving a racing car as oh wait, hold on, time's coming up.
Time's going up.
Time. There we go. Nice, I came under estimate, I think, probably, hopefully. Did I come under estimate? Let's find out.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got an ad, so I'll never know, I guess. But you
your
just
final
have to
time
tell
was
me.
25:39-ish.
Nice, that was pretty much exactly the same time I did in my final practice run, so yeah, that's not so bad. It was a pretty scuffed run, unfortunately. Like I said, I just unfortunately kind of got owned by the developers of this game. You know, if I'd have... The thing is, I had it planned out. I did a practice stream of this game on Tuesday before the update happened, and I was like, you know, this is cool. I was practicing, I was getting consistent sort of like 20s, 21s, everything was fine. You know, I was maybe making a few mistakes here and there, but nothing too major. And then Wednesday the update dropped, and all I saw about the update was that they were changing the timing thresholds for the licenses and for circuit experience, which is another mode in this game. And it wasn't until I actually played today that I fully read through the updates. So I had not played this game. Effectively, I hadn't played this game before today, is the best way I can describe it to you. It's like coming into a speedrunning event blind, completely blind, and you've got no clue, like, what you're doing. Someone in chat could have done probably about as well as I did, because I had the muscle memory of the previous game, which is actually a hindrance now with the new update to the game.
No, don't worry, Realm. You
Jesus took the wheel.
Yeah, the fact that I pushed through that with only what 3 or 4 I think it was 4 fails in the end.
I think it was 4 total, yeah.
Actually not that bad. I had 3 the last time I did this run in an event, and I didn't even have the excuse that there was a different handling model. So
yeah, this is why you might go.
So yeah, I kind of got screwed by the devs of the game, but you know, hopefully it makes the game more fun long term, and maybe next SS4C I'll come back and I'll suddenly be amazing at this game.
Yeah, you can do all goals.
No.
You can do the full game, and we can be here for 14 hours.
Do the 4-hour or 9-hour speedrun, depends on which one you want. Yeah, I'll do a whole day. I'll do a whole day of SS4C, just Gran Turismo 7. You guys will look forward to that one. Anyway, I'm going to get off the RTMP now. I don't really have any shout-outs to give apart from my girlfriend, whose birthday it is this weekend. So yeah, shout out to her. Thank you for your donation. Shout out to anyone who took a risk on having this game shown, because I know that on the face of things it doesn't seem like it's going to be that entertaining of a speedrun, but hopefully I pulled through for you guys. If you liked what you saw, please follow my Twitch channel and all that kind of stuff. I do lots of racing games on there. I've really been doing a push on it recently. I stream pretty much every day, so if this seems like the kind of thing that you'd be interested in, then then head over there. Make sure you donate lots of money, because Texas is stupid, and they like to discriminate against minorities for some reason, rather than discriminating against the lawmakers who take a lot of money from big businesses. Anyway, that's my piece. Enjoy the rest of the marathon, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the stream at some point.
Bye. Goodbye.
All right, that was Realm on Gran Turismo 7. Thank you for that run, which completely was very special. Thank you, Polyphony Digital, for that run. We have crossed the $800 threshold after just 4 runs, which is kind of wild. You guys are killing it. So let's get some housekeeping out of the way. In case you do not know, we are here today for the Equality Texas Foundation. They seek to educate, motivate, and activate all Texans to end discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. We are Speed Stuff for Charity. We've been doing this marathon thing for a while now. In our 8 years doing marathons, we've raised over $15K, which is kind of nuts to think about. We've done stuff for St. Jude's, Doctors Without Borders, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and LEAD. And yeah, we're not stopping anytime soon. If you are interested in supporting the Equality Texas Foundation, please check out our Tiltify page, which you can get to by typing !donate in chat. We have a few things going on right now in terms of incentives, which I will update you on very briefly here. Let's see. What do we got? Well, we met Metroid, so that's done. We met Proto Man Helmet, which is coming up soon, so that's done. But we have not met the any percent upgrade for Remorse the List. We're going to need $500 to reach that much later tonight. Thank you everyone so far who has donated, hung out, retweeted, chilled with us, donated. I've said that like multiple times. It's fine. We really appreciate you being here. Don't have any other donations at the moment, but I hope you all are enjoying the show. Coming up next is our little Bratterfield block, aka the Mega Man block. First being Mega Man on DOS, which is a very special game. And then Mega Man 2, The Power Fighters, which is an arcade fighting game twist on Mega Man. After that, we get Burnout Paradise from Ninputs. So our racing block is slightly split up. Mega Man kind of is here to interrupt. But we'll have some really cool stuff. That's going to be the A license category for Burnout Paradise. That's going to be a little bit later today. And because of your donations, we reached our first bonus game, which is the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe run from Peas. That's going to be Wave 4, the latest set of DLC courses. And that's going to be a blast. Yoshi's Island course, DS Mario Circuit, DK Summit, Waluigi Stadium, I believe that's it. Not Coliseum, Waluigi Stadium. Some fun stuff on 150cc. And yeah, we are getting that run ready for you all. We'll be there in just a moment. If you have not seen Bratterfield before, you're in for a treat. Best voice on Twitch. Easily my favorite voice on Twitch. Mega Man DOS is a very funny game. We're excited to be able to bring you a pair of Bratterfield runs this marathon. And as you might know, we are going until around 2 a.m. Eastern tonight. But we're not stopping with today. We're going to be live again tomorrow and Sunday. It's going to be 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. every day. We have the full schedule. If you would like to see what we have coming up, maybe a little bit later in the weekend, you can check that at our Hararo link, which is if you hit !schedule in chat, you can see all the fun stuff that's coming up. We're going to be opening tomorrow with Pokemon Scarlet by Travaria, so that's going to be like a pretty big. It's going to be a big game to start tomorrow off with a blast. So, yeah, you guys have a lot of stuff to look forward to. Happy Transgender Day of Visibility. Again, we didn't plan it, but it just so happened that we took it.